What's up, YouTube? This Matt here. Welcome back to my channel. In today's first deal series, we have Jared. Jared recently closed a wholesale deal, and in today's video, we're just going to break down, his real estate journey and how he closed his first deal. So you all stay tuned for the whole video so you can take different action packed value from this video and implement what he learned to get his first deal into your business. And be sure to like this video, comment down below if you have any questions. So Jerry, how are you doing today?
I'm good, man. I'm good, man. How about yourself?
Doing well, doing well. Awesome. So first thing I like to ask is, how did you first learn about wholesaling real estate? How'd you first get into it?
Oh man, so I actually had a old teammate of mine. I played football at Appalachian State, and
Mm-hmm.
I had an old teammate of mine that had been doing it for some years now. And I used to work at the airport in sales, and I always wanted to reach out to him. He always, posted on Instagram, the assignment fee, this, that, and the third, and all of that. And I always wanted to reach out to him, and the pandemic hit.
Mm.
I was out of work, and I just saw, he just kept posting. He just kept posting deals every month. Sometimes it was 2 or 3 deals a month. So I
Mm.
finally reached out to him, man, and I just said, "Hey, what are you doing? Teach me. Everything just teach me." And then I got to I went to YouTube University. I
Of
did that for
course.
maybe about a good 2 to 3 weeks. Just
Mm-hmm.
I didn't lock myself in a room, but pretty much locked myself in the house. And it was great because the pandemic hit, so I didn't have anywhere to go. And I just
Mm.
learned everything. And I reached out to him, and after he told me, the basics of everything, I just told him, if I have any difficulties, I wouldn't mind reaching out to you. I definitely respect you from that aspect, and your advice. So I don't want to say he took me up under his wing, but he
Mm.
definitely helped me, when I definitely hit some speed bumps.
Got you, got you. Okay, okay. So I guess you saw this thing that this your friend was doing on Instagram, just posting checks and whatnot, and
Mm-hmm.
that prompted you to reach out. And yeah, I see this common thread in a lot of people who get into this business is they go down the YouTube rabbit hole, right? The YouTube University, watching a bunch of videos.
Right.
And so you started earlier last year, I guess, researching
Well,
it
I
and everything.
started, we could say, I started mid-September of last year.
Okay, okay.
I started driving for dollars. So I reached out to him, and he actually gave me the full game plan and everything. I actually reached out to him while I was driving for dollars.
Mm,
Wind up pulling on side of the road with my tablet, and I just wind up writing a whole bunch of notes that he was giving me, and I just took it from there. So
nice,
I
nice.
would say mid-September is when I actually started,
Okay.
just getting all my properties together. And I actually didn't get in contact with the my actual sellers. I didn't make contact with them till towards the end of October.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it took some time to get in contact with them.
Got you. Got you. And by the way, so before I guess getting more into wholesaling, were you working at the time or in school or something?
I got laid off because of the
Mm,
pandemic.
yeah.
Like everybody else, my job, they completely shut down. They laid
Wow.
off about 90% of their employees.
Dang.
So I was in limbo, I'll say. I didn't know where I was about to go. I didn't know if I was going to be going back to work. I tried so many different aspects, so many different things to try. I tried personal training. I'm
Mm,
a big fitness guy, so I thought maybe personal training was a route to go.
mm-hmm.
And real estate really just stuck with me. Once I like the challenge. A lot of people think wholesaling is a piece of cake, but it's not, man. It takes
No,
some work. It definitely takes some work. So I
of
think
course.
that challenge is what kept me with it.
Okay. And by the
Mm-hmm.
way, people, you should check out Jared's Instagram. He's up there flexing and everything. So if you need some tips on fitness, check him out. Um, but so I guess you got laid off from your job. What kind of line of work was it?
I was in sales. I worked
Okay.
for Hertz Rent a Car.
Okay,
So
okay.
at the airport, and actually that actually helped me, believe it or
Mm,
not, especially with wholesaling, because I'm not a direct marketing. I mean, I'm not like, I don't want to say a mailing type of guy. I like to
mm-hmm,
cold call. Cold calling is what I
mm,
do. So I was customer sales at the airport, and we dealt with everybody, man. I mean, I would deal with people from Germany, China,
wow.
California. It didn't matter, that everyone flying into Charlotte, they would come and rent cars, and just face-to-face sales, 8-9
Mm.
hours a day.
Oh, dang.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
So I
Hmm.
guess, I mean, you were able to transfer those sales skills into wholesaling because
For sure,
you're
most
talking to
definitely.
all sorts of people, like you were saying, from different countries, and just dealing with different personality types. So
Yeah,
that really helped you.
most
Hmm.
definitely, man. I mean,
Yeah.
it's easy, it's crazy the stuff that you pick up. Just I would say it helps me in a way learning. I think one of my biggest strengths with cold calling, why I like to cold call, is because I have an ability to kind of calm a customer down, or a seller.
Mm,
If anyone's listening, and they're cold calling, they know they're gonna get that seller that, you're the 20th person that's calling me. Why you keep calling me? You got to have some type of verbiage skills to kind of work around that, if you actually want to, want to see if you can get that deal.
right, right. Hey,
Hmm.
that is key. And so,
Hmm.
you have this, I guess, this good talent and just, I guess, from years of doing sales and just your personality that you can calm a seller down. So, let's get practical here, for people watching and listening. Let's say they're cold calling and they come across a seller that says, hey, you're the 20th person who's called me. Like, what practical things that you would advise them to say, or in order for them to calm that seller and just control that conversation?
It's tough to kind of give it to you just off, just kind of winging it. What
Hmm.
helps me is, I've also learned this. I got this from Max Maxwell as well. I
Hmm.
was listening to one of his podcasts, and matching the tone.
Very
So
important.
I don't want to say not so much as matching the tone in that situation, because you don't they're loud, so you don't want to be loud with them, but kind of a humble tone, if that makes any sense.
Hmm.
Just kind of, well, I'm sorry to bother. I didn't want to, I don't want to disturb. Asking if you caught them at the right time, or just asking, or just trying to kind of beat around the bush of the fact that I'm ultimately trying to say, do you want to sell me your home? Trying to
Mm,
kind of beat around that bush. I would say small talk definitely helps. If you can get it in, sometimes, we're being practical. Sometimes you can't get it in. Sometimes
right.
that customer, they're not gonna want to hear what you got to say. They're not gonna want to hear,
Hmm.
well, let me just, explain something. They're not gonna want to hear any of that. But yeah, I would say, but that's not everyone. That's
Hmm.
definitely not every call that you get. I would definitely say that if you have the ability to squeeze, you know, uh, well, did I catch you at a bad time? Or I would say, if you had the ability to squeeze in, well, let me try to just get, understand some things. I just want to have a few questions regarding, or even if not so much as, when you're first calling them, hey, do you want a cash offer? Because I see a lot of people,
Hmm.
the first thing they say is, hey, would you ever interested in a cash offer on your home? So, try to offer a value, try to bring value to that
Hmm.
customer as well. So, what I've done, I've joined like several Facebook groups,
Hmm.
and in those groups, you meet contractors, you meet so many people, repairmen, you meet so many people that can help you in this business. And so, just, you can also call them on, and you can call them and just say, hey, I'm just wondering, why does the home look like this?
Hmm.
Do you need help with any type of repairs on the home? I'm in the field of doing that. And like you said, we're practical. I'm very straightforward. I like to shoot the shot. The home, if you got to think about it. The
Hmm.
home has looked like this for some years now.
Right.
So 9 times out of 10, they don't want to put the work in to fix the home.
Hmm. True. That's
or
true.
they just nine. Let's just say 9 times out of 10, they don't want to put the work in. So
Mm,
I find that just offering, showing that I can offer those services. I
mm,
found that finding, eventually they say no. They'll say no to, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do this. Well, I say, well, hey, I have another option for you. Have you ever thought of a cash offer on that home?
mm.
So I would say try finding, small talk, and then finding a way to just, bring some type of added value, try to help them. You want to try to help them as well, and that's what I did in my first deal, because my first time I spoke with my customer, I didn't actually, it was the fact that she was older. I didn't
Mm,
actually, say, hey, I'm interested in, buying your home, this, that, and the third. I tried a
mm,
different route. I said, why does the home look like this? So, have you thought of any options as far, do you want to rent it out? Did you take any type of other, maybe a second mortgage or anything in that range, anything that can, that she can do to repair the home or bring some type of money into her pocket. And that's how we actually first started off. First started off discussing, those options. And, eventually she told me that she just didn't want to do it. And I said, well, I told her,
mm.
well, hey, I'm also in the investment field, investment, and I wouldn't mind buying this home for you, cash deal, cash
Okay.
offer.
Yeah,
And
we'll break down this deal a little bit more, kind of jumping ahead, but hey, that's all good. Like I really like this point for you all, watching, tone matching when you're dealing with a difficult seller. And it may not be like that sort of question. It may be in other situations where you have to like exactly match your tone with the seller. But always, say it in a humble tone, in a caring tone. And I like what you said that, bring the value first before you bring up like, oh, cash offer, I'm buying your house. And I
true.
like to do that too. Like I like to talk about that last and talk about price last. Once I find out that she's interested or he's interested, I even,
Hmm.
I try to delay that as late as possible. Of course, it's something you have to bring up, but
Hmm.
it's just building that rapport, warming them up until you bringing them to that point. So I guess let's get into this deal, your
Hmm.
first deal, that you sent me the HUD statements for. So everyone, that I interview, I make sure they send me HUD statements or a check or some sort of proof, just for full transparency for you all on the channel. And so with this particular deal, what was your marketing technique? I know you were saying you were doing some driving dollars and cold calling. Was it the same for that, for
Yes,
this
sir.
deal?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This one was driving for dollars, and I wound up cold calling the seller, and I got
Okay.
in
And
contact with him.
were you using the deal machine app?
No, no, no.
No.
Um, I actually had no. So again, this was during pandemic times, and
Hmm.
I'm a very transparent guy. The only piece of technology that I had was my cell phone. So I
Mm,
didn't have a laptop at the time, no prop machine, no deal machine,
mm,
prop stream, excuse me.
right,
No
right.
deal machine. I didn't have any of that, no list source. All I had was
Dang.
my cell phone and my car. And I got in that
Hmm.
car and I drove for dollars. I mean, I would leave maybe I would get in my car maybe about 10 a.m. and 10 to maybe 3 4 p.m. I would get my list, just a whole bunch of properties. I would hit, you know
Wow.
different cities around the area of Charlotte,
Right.
just and I would do that basically for
For
about
a lot of the day.
until I got someone to say yes.
Right, right, right. Makes sense. Yeah, and
Mhm.
that was one of the first things I did too, when I was driving for dollars, because I wasn't paying for deal machine or anything like that, and I would just use Google Maps. I'll find like a section, a neighborhood, like a zip code,
Mhm.
and I would just drive around that neighborhood, and which is a free app. And I actually posted a video while I was doing that, like back in I think 2019 maybe.
Mhm.
But I'll try to link it somewhere for other people who are in that situation where they can't necessarily afford like these services. There are different
Right.
free ways that they can go out and find deals.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
and so, okay, so you did that, you were writing them down. You said in September you were doing all this. And
Mhm.
when did you get in contact with the seller to close your first deal?
We'll say mid to end of October. I made first contact with them.
Okay. Okay.
I was listening to the Bigger Pockets podcast. And that's something that my old teammate, his name's Andrew Peacock. My old teammate, he gave me he just told me try to learn something every day. So
Mm,
what I would do while I was driving, excuse me, what I would do while I was driving for dollars, I would just have my podcast on. So on the bigger pot, on one of these episodes, I heard a guy. He made a reference to his leads. He said each lead that he gets, he tries to at least call them 15 times before he throws it out.
wow.
Yeah, so
It's
I
crazy.
kept that. I kept that. I took it and I ran with it, man. And I wouldn't say I was calling Monday through Friday every day. I would try to keep it maybe Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Okay. Okay.
Um,
Right.
and I was just calling, and I would say on my maybe I would say
Hmm.
probably the 11th or 12th or maybe probably 13th time of me calling this particular number,
Wow.
a little old lady answers the phone,
Wow.
and and this is when it came into the matching tone. This is when that
Hmm.
definitely helped me.
Hmm.
I was very polite. She said she was at supper, and instead of me actually going into my spiel, I said, "Well, ma'am, I'll call you back tomorrow if you mind." I just told her my name. I was very calm, very,
Mm.
very, very, very low tone, and I told her my name, told her what I was into, and I just, I'll give you a call tomorrow. We'll talk tomorrow for sure. And definitely, she gave me a time to call her. I called her up,
Hmm.
and yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's
Mhm.
interesting because a lot of people don't do that much follow-up if they haven't been getting any responses,
Mhm.
So like to call someone like over 10 times that never answered, didn't give you any sense of like, okay, this person might be interested, but you
Mhm.
kept on following those leads. That's good to learn. And for my audience and even for myself to take note of that,
Mhm.
to if you have a list, just go through it as much as you can. Try to
Yeah.
contact everybody from that list because honestly, you can stick with one list for like a full year if you're able to contact every single person
Yeah.
from that list.
For sure.
But that's great. And then, just coming to her in that calm personality and different things like that. Okay,
Mhm.
and so when you got the chance to talk to her, um, let's say you got to talk to her in her situation.
Mhm.
What was her situation, and why was she looking to sell?
Well, the properties were inherited through her husband.
Mm-mm.
Her husband actually passed away.
Mm.
She's Her name is Miss Roper. I actually talked to her to this day. Like, she's an amazing lady.
Wow.
But her husband passed away, and this is the type of rapport that we actually built. She hates when I call her Miss Roper. If she watches this, she'll probably get on me. But she's about 79, 80 years old. And the properties were inherited with her through her and her sister,
Okay.
and they received the properties. And once her sister passed away, um, they were passed down to her sister's sons, and everyone was basically out of state. The
Mm.
properties were vacant. Everyone, they just didn't have the time to kind of keep them up,
Mm.
and or the patience, I would say, to kind of deal with a property manager or a renter. They tried renting
Mm.
them out, and one of the properties actually wound up getting trashed completely. um, Big holes in the wall. I actually sold them with the
Mm.
holes in the wall.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
but so they were just they were just tired of. They were ready to get rid of them. And but that was their situation. But
Okay.
I kind of, I didn't, again, when I told her when I told you guys about bringing value, I didn't say, let's, we didn't get to, I actually offered her, hey, I told her about the Facebook group. I told her, hey, I'm in a Facebook investors group, and there's a guys that contractors that can, get your home in good shape, so and she just told me she didn't want to deal with it, she didn't want to go that route. She said she definitely didn't want to rent it because of the past situation with the renters trashing the home. And she said that her nephews, who actually owned the other half of the properties, they wanted to get into the I would say into the real estate game themselves.
Okay.
So another idea that I told her, I said, well, hey, this is when we got into. I was like, well, you can also sell the home.
Right.
We can get it, where you can take those profits and you can start fresh, get rid of those. And so I was just giving her recommending all those options to her, and she took option 3, sell the home,
right,
and take those funds. She's going to use those funds to go I won't say retire, but just
right.
her final years, we'll call it, just to have a peaceful final years. And the nephews are going to take the profits, and one has a farm.
Okay.
He reinvested it into his farm. The other is a pastor that's on his way to retire. So they're going to use those funds to he's going to use his proceeds to retire and make sure he has a great retirement.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. So I guess their motivation was, these houses were vacant. They don't want to deal with them. They don't want to deal with like rehabbing them, renting them out, different things like that.
Yeah.
And that's when you came in, like you were saying, you were building value, bringing value. Hey, I know some contractors, I know this and that, but you eventually came to that, question of, hey, we can offer you a cash offer for your property and different things like that. Okay, so that, I guess that was the condition, the why behind. So it seems like, did you have any, I guess, title issues or like issues trying to get signatures from everyone? Because it seemed like, okay, half is with her and then some nephews and different things like that.
I had this deal almost made me go bald, man. Because it was my first deal, so
Yeah.
I'll run it down. If I can make it, I won't ramble up, I promise. But so basically, I was driving for dollars. It was 3 properties, 2 houses and 1 parcel of land. I drove for dollars and got the address of 1 house. When I called Miss Roper, the second day, we wind up talking. She winds up telling me, well, after about a good 20 or 25-minute conversation of us not even us bringing value, just we were actually getting to know each other. And she says, well, hey, I got another property I want you to go look at as well.
Wow.
So I want to get rid of that one too. She said, I'll leave the windows open. You can go check that out. So that's how I got the other properties. And excuse me, I got those other properties, and we wind up getting, that was October. We wind up getting them under contract mid-November, November 23rd to be exact. And again, this is being my first deal. I wasn't aware of title issues.
Oh, wow.
I wasn't aware of, I was clueless. I was going in there. I was very clueless. So I got them to sign the contracts. I wind up going to find my buyer. Posted on Facebook, on my Facebook group, found my buyer. And I wind up sending it to the title company, sending the contracts to my title company. And I thought everything was okay. Maybe about 2 or 3 days later, my title company emails me and says that they can't handle the file, and that it will be transferred. They recommended another title company for me to use.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that's crazy.
Yeah. So I had to calm. This is actually the first time I've seen Miss Roper a little angry. Her nephews were a little mad. My buyer
oh no
was a little irate. Like, everyone was like, the deal almost fell through because of that. And the reason being, I can't remember. It was a quick claim. Excuse me, quick claim deed.
Oh, okay, quick claim deed.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah. So it was a
got
quick
you.
claim deed. So they basically had to. It was a quick claim deed in another county.
Mm,
Luckily the title company that we transferred to had they were amazing. Just know that because I,
yeah,
I'm
yeah, yeah.
sorry, man. I
Kind
experienced a lot with this. Oh,
dang.
it was a learning process. So
Okay.
with this, I learned that you need to have a relationship with your title company. You
Mm-hmm.
need to be able to. You're paralegal. You need to have a great paralegal.
Mm.
Because when they told me that they couldn't handle the deal, I had known at the time that my actual seller, Miss Roper, and her nephews had been reaching out to them. They hadn't been replying back. They hadn't been answering any phone calls. They were just dropping the ball on their end. So
Wow.
the first bit of communication that we heard from them was, we won't be able to take on this file. So
Dang.
yeah, so when they told me that, and I had to tell Miss Roper and her nephews, they were just like, well, we don't think we should do this. We might find another way. We'll find somebody else to sell this, that, and the third. So I had to calm them down, get them, just get them,
Right, right,
just
right.
tell them, let them know I'm going to handle it. I got everything taken care of. My buyer, I had to get them on board, letting them know that it was a quick claim deed. Um, the only thing I would say that the first title company did help me with, they gave me the directions, or basically told me
Mm,
exactly what to say to the new title company that I actually wound up closing with. They actually
okay.
they gave me the directions, or tell them what to say. They gave me that, so that actually helped me out. It kind of sped up the process. I didn't have to explain everything,
Mm,
this, that, and the third. So but when we did call the second title company up, we wind up receiving a great paralegal named Heather, and
mm-hmm.
she was just amazing.
Mm.
When I say we would email her, and she would email in 2 minutes,
Wait,
just like that.
wow. Shout out to Heather.
Calls. She was just on it. She was
Right,
emailing everybody, seller, buyer, me. She was emailing everybody, letting everybody know the process. It made everyone comfortable again.
right.
And I told her she saved that deal. I told her she saved it.
Mm-hmm.
Just because again, it was my first deal. I didn't know what exactly. I was basically winging everything,
Right.
with me calming my seller down, my buyers. I
Mm,
was just winging everything. And I was I didn't want to get caught and say, oh, I was gonna have to buy a home, or anything like that. So she saved the deal. She got everybody back on board. And it wound up taking about 2 weeks for her to handle everything. And we wind up closing, I believe, in mid-December.
mid-December. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
wow. Yeah, that was a lot to process for sure, just with because I was thinking like with all these different heirs and names, I'm all like there has to be some sort of title thing going on
Yeah,
probably. But I mean, that's why it's so imperative to get a good title company,
for sure.
because a lot of times we may get with a title company just randomly Google searching one without actually asking like other wholesalers
Mm-hmm.
or just asking around and different things like that. But that's good.
Mm-hmm.
You found a good title company, that works with you. I know, yeah, there are good ones here that they're just fast with their replies. They're on top of things and
Mm-hmm.
everything. Got you. So I guess you contacted them really in October. You closed the deal in December,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
so it took like almost 2 months to
yeah.
close that deal.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about price, the numbers, because so what were you able to get this property under contract at? I know there was like three separate
Yeah, so there were
properties.
three separate properties, two houses and one parcel of land. Uh, the parcel of land was right next to one of the homes. So
Mhm.
I got let's see here. So it was 3 different contracts that I did.
Okay.
One contract I put it under contract at 55,
Okay.
and I sold it to my buyer at 58
Okay.
K. I put it at
Okay.
55K, and I sold that one at 58K. The other contract, I believe, um, oh God, I would have to check. I want to
It's
say I
all
put it
good.
at maybe 50. Was it 52? I don't
Yeah,
have
yeah,
my
yeah. I think yeah, yeah. I think so. I would
have
have
my
to check
ATVs.
too. But
Hmm.
yeah, because I think yeah, okay. So what would you say like the market value? What would you say like the market value for all three of them were at? If you would lump them, let's just lump them all together. You said one was 55,000, another one was in the 50,000s too. So altogether, their
Well, we would
contract
say
was
probably about let's see, 72 plus the we'll say about 130, 140 something,
okay.
140K.
So you locked up all these three around 130,
Hmm.
100. Okay,
Yeah. Hmm.
and then you sold it all of them for how
We'll say
much?
about 150.
150. Okay,
Hmm.
okay, awesome. So you
Hmm.
made 20,000 on your first wholesale deal.
Yes, sir. Yep.
That's
20K.
amazing. Like
Hmm.
that's actually pretty high,
Hmm.
for people getting their first deal. So congrats to that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Um,
Thank you.
yeah, yeah. So let's say you sold it to your buyer at 150. How much do you think he would be able to, I don't know, once everything's fixed up, I don't know what he would do with the lot, but what would you say the market value after repair value of everything would be?
Oh man. For those homes, easily about 300. 300 to
300.
maybe 325.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Hmm. Hmm.
Dang, so he'll basically almost double his money, but I mean he's gonna put money into it, of course. Yeah, that's crazy. Um, so 20K on your first deal. What did you do with your 20K?
Well, I reinvested into my business.
Okay.
Like I said, I told you, like I said in the beginning, only had a laptop. So, I mean, I only had my cell phone, excuse me. So I wound up buying my laptop. I bought 6 months of prop screen,
Mm,
to have that available. I did a little bit more as far as marketing with bandit signs. I'm gonna trying that out for a go. But that's really what I did. I just reinvested in my business. With it being the tough times that we're in, I paid most of my bills off for about a good six
mhm.
months. And right now, um, and this is a mistake that I made, that I found a lot of people do make. So with my first deal, it was with that being my first deal, all my other quote unquote leads that I had, I stopped calling them.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, so I focused all my time and energy on that one. So basically, beginning of the year, I had to basically start off, cold
Fresh.
again. Yeah, yeah, fresh,
Wow.
and we're just
Gotcha.
right now just driving for dollars, cold calling. I've downloaded my list from PropStream,
Hmm.
and Bandit Signs.
Okay, okay.
Mhm.
So I guess right now that's what you're doing. So how's your business looking now? You just cold
My
calling,
pop.
doing some, yeah, go ahead.
It was just I cold call. So what I do is I cold call 2 hours a day.
Hmm.
I tried, well, not try. My minimum is 100 leads, 100 leads a day. So I
Hmm.
call it at least 100 leads a day. That's if anyone knows, that's nowhere near 100 numbers.
Right, right,
um, I
exactly.
I don't have an automatic dialing service or anything like that. I just use my phone, use my finger, and I
Wow.
get to it. Um, and I organize everything, the ones that are disconnected, the ones that are wrong numbers, I put them away, or,
Hmm.
get them off the list, I just organizing it kind of speeds the process up.
Hmm.
But I'm cold calling 2 hours a day.
Hmm.
And I'm driving for dollars Tuesdays and Thursdays now.
Okay,
So
okay.
mhm.
Awesome. Is anything in the pipeline? Were you able to get anything
the
since then or
the pipeline is actually building up.
okay.
It's about to buzz actually up potentially. I
Hmm.
actually connected with a lead. who actually has another three properties that
Oh, wow.
he told me he's ready to get rid of.
Mm,
We're actually hoping to meet up with him sometime later on this week.
okay.
And he just told I told him it depends. He's a cool guy. I told him I told him my price is all subject to me walking inside the house,
Mm-hmm.
inside the property. I told him because we haven't had a time to walk inside the property. He does his own mechanic business, so
Mm-hmm.
we haven't had a time to run inside the property yet because he's always busy on the road and everything. But he says hopefully he'll have some time this week. We can go inside the property and hopefully we can get him to a good. We can get the numbers, to a good number and get those
Okay.
deals, get those under
Okay.
contract.
Okay. Is he asking for something that you think, you know, around the price range you think you can probably wholesale, or you think you kind of got to bring him down a little bit?
Well, I believe I'll be able to wholesale him. The
Okay.
price that I offered him, if he accepts those prices, I'll definitely be able to wholesale them and
Right.
hopefully make somewhere in between maybe 8 to 10,000 on
Okay.
those houses per house.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's that's me walking around the outside of the home.
Right.
That if hopefully it's no major damage in the inside. But
Exactly.
that's what is all going to determine the true price on how much we can make.
Okay, okay,
Hmm.
perfect. All
Hmm.
right. Well, yeah, well, for people hearing your story, listening, I know they collected a lot of gems from this, and just how you got this deal, working with the seller, your follow-up, just saving the deal, the title company and everything like that. What are some advice that you can give to a new beginner wholesaler who's trying to get their first deal?
Don't beat yourself up for sure. Don't 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 get don't ex I don't want to, I hate to say this and say don't expect it to happen overnight.
Hmm.
That's the best advice I would be able to say. And it's always darkest before the dawn. I was
Hmm.
actually at believe it or not, I was actually at a point before Miss Roper answered the phone on that 11, 12, 13 time. I was actually at a point where I was going to say, man, I was actually at a point where I was going to say, maybe I have to try something else. Maybe real estate isn't for me. And
Wow.
boom, she picks up the phone and
Dang.
everything just takes off from there. So
Mm,
it's always darkest before the dawn. And I would
mm-hmm.
say, just stick with it. This is a
Stick with it.
grind. This
Mm,
is this wholesaling real estate is definitely a grind. And you got to actually work at it for sure.
okay. Work at it.
Hmm.
Work at it. All right. You all here, Jared. Work for it. Like he said, it's always darkness before the dawn. And
Hmm.
that's so key. Like I found that too, like just getting deals, like if I'm going through a dry spell or just getting my first deal, it's always like the lowest point where something comes through.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
you all keep on trucking,
For
like he
sure.
said, it's a grind,
Hmm.
and it doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't.
Yeah.
But awesome, man. Well, I appreciate you hopping on for
Thank
sure.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, and to anybody watching, if they would like to ask you any questions, is there some way they can contact you or something like that?
Yeah, you can reach out to me. My Instagram is Jared dot Rain, excuse me. So you can definitely reach out to me. My email is rainjared@gmail.com.
Hmm.
I'm a friendly guy. Just I don't hold anything back. The
Right.
game. It wasn't charged me, so I have no problem answering any questions.
Awesome. That's amazing. All right, you all. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment down below. All right. Peace.